I've helped thousands of Etsy sellers get their first 1,000 sales at this point. How? Well, I take real e-commerce principles and apply them to Etsy, and that is why we see very consistent, strong results. And in today's presentation, I'm going to give you actionable and practical steps that you can apply immediately in your shop to see the next 1,000 sales as quickly as possible. My name is Dylan Jahraus, and I've been an Etsy seller of over 8 years. I've made over $1 million in profit on the platform, and that was over $1.7 million in revenue. I also have sold on Amazon and Shopify, but my entire background is corporate e-commerce. So I worked for some big companies like Zappos and Zulily, and now I have a company of about 35 people, and we are teaching over 4,000 Etsy sellers how to scale their businesses with the ultimate Etsy course and one-on-one coaching. This past year, we founded a software company that is called Etsio, and it's all about optimizing your listings. So this presentation is all about the 5 steps to really accelerating your next 1,000 orders. So let's just start with this. Your first 100 sales are by far the hardest sales to get on Etsy. But if they happen really slowly over many months or even years, then for you to get to 1,000 sales, that can just be so arduous. Most people don't stick with it long enough to ever get to 1,000 sales. I'm going to lay out these 5 steps to get your next 1,000 orders as quickly as possible in your Etsy shop. Now, these steps have helped people get to 100 sales in their first 34 days. They've helped people get to 1,000 sales within their first 4 months. And they've helped people who are 10 months in to get to a point where they're getting up to 250 orders per day. So whether you are a beginner or you don't even have an Etsy shop, or whether you've been on Etsy for 15 years, these 5 steps will help you accelerate your order velocity. Step number 1 is going to fix the biggest reason that most sellers never get to 1,000 sales on Etsy, and this is having the right customers who will provide a consistent order frequency. So choosing the right customers. This is at the foundation. Most Etsy sellers are choosing products. That's not how we're starting. We're starting with customers. Forget the strategy of going to Everbee, finding best sellers, and then thinking, if this makes $10,000 a month allegedly, then we will make $10,000 a month if we sell that same thing. That is a business model of chasing success. And chasing success, when you're a shop with no track record, that will be fruitless. So instead, we are going to look to customers who consistently shop on Etsy, even when inflation is up, when the stock market is down. These customers continue to come to Etsy. And the resiliency of your customer is essential for success in e-commerce. We're really targeting specific people that will get you to that 1,000 sales much faster with more consistency. So I want you to understand this type of person a bit more. This person, they're going to value their time more than money. This means they will pay for a done-for-you service. They will pay for not a digital version of the art, but the actual print-on-demand, fully ready to hang up at their doorstep art. They are also willing to pay for quality, right? And they're willing to make investments versus just finding the cheapest option. They might have expensive hobbies and activities. And now that is proof of concept that they're willing to spend money on that area of their life. Their spending habits are also much more consistent. And then our income as a result becomes much more consistent. You might think, wait, customer, is that like a niche? Should I just niche down? Why aren't you talking about niches, Dylan? We are not picking a niche. And this is intentional. No niches. We're not picking a niche because a niche does not guarantee anything about the consistency of the people who might be purchasing in that niche. So let's get into an example here. We are going to talk about dish soap. Everyone uses dish soap, right? You might think, all right, I'm going to target the house cleaning product niche. I'm going to get into consumable cleaning products. The home cleaning products niche doesn't guarantee that it is a profitable customer. For example, there are some people who will buy the most expensive, organic, chemical-free, paraben-free, farm-to-table, whatever dish soap. And then there's the people who are going to the Dollar Tree and they're paying $1.25 for the watered-down dish soap, Dollar Tree brand, whatever, private label, right? Whatever is cheap and looks like I can get a lot for a little bit of money. So does the home cleaning product category, does that guarantee it's a profitable customer? Absolutely not. So instead of choosing a niche, right, like home cleaning products, we want to choose a customer who does the, Thrive Market, delivered to their doorstep, most expensive, organic, whatever cleaning products. Because that customer, they value their time more than money. They're getting it delivered to their doorstep. They will pay for quality, right? They care about the ingredients. They care about maybe the brand. They have a stronger affiliation to certain brands, and they're willing to pay more for that product and that experience. Now, having the right customer is great, but this doesn't matter if you don't have the right product mix to get you to 1,000 sales. And this is where step 2 comes in, which is building what I call a dynamic product mix that will get you to 1,000 sales much faster than what you're doing right now. What is a dynamic product mix? This means we need to have different products in different listings that have completely different purposes in the shop. This does not mean having a shop that is only full of soap or only full of digital planners or only mugs or only t-shirts, because you will not get the next 1,000 orders the fastest by having 100 listings of the same thing. I have a framework. It's called the 7 types of products to have in your Etsy shop. And these 7 types of products are designed to scale both order number, that number under your shop name, and your revenue. And one of the key products to scaling your order count is a loss leader. And it's a lower price point, lower margin item that has both mass appeal and high quality. And the idea with a loss leader is get to 20 sales per day on this listing to drive up your order number really fast. In order to do that, this needs to be an evergreen listing, something that will sell year round. It also needs to be high quality because you need to get amazing reviews on this consistently. And the goal is to get this listing to become a bestseller with a bestseller badge as quickly as possible so that it's going to rank at the top of search with that badge. Now, what should you do for a loss leader? Here's some ideas for loss leaders. You could do something like general checklists, editable templates. B2B items are great. Maybe that could appeal to a variety of businesses. A loss leader might be supplies of your handmade items. It could be something very generic that has mass appeal, like a mama sweatshirt. It could be maybe a plain wooden frame instead of your finished engraved wooden frame. Or maybe it's an entire print-on-demand product category. Now, loss leaders are not going to be customizable items, right, that take a lot of time. We don't want it to be breakable with potential customer service issues. We don't want it to be an item that would sell out or an item that you couldn't find again. We also don't want it to be an item that is super niche or hyper specific where the demand is going to be very limited. We also don't want it to be a holiday product or a seasonal product that only sells certain times of year. And lastly, but perhaps most importantly, a loss leader is not a deceptive variation in another listing. So I'm sure you've all have seen this, where you see like a really nice sweatshirt for women, and then you see, oh, it's $14.99. This is interesting. And you click on it, and then you see that the variation that is $14.99 is a toddler t-shirt that seller buried in the listing in order for it to appear cheaper in search results. A loss leader is not a deceptive variation. A loss leader is its own listing. Now, you can have the right customers and the right product mix to get to 1,000 sales quickly, but if you really want to get there quickly, then you will combine those steps with this next step. And this is all about optimizing for organic traffic. You will get your first 1,000 sales much faster if you really focus on organic growth strategies. So we are not going to be paying for ads in order to get your first 1,000 orders. We are actually not going to use Etsy ads at all. I'm going to show you how efficient this can be and how much more profitable it can be for you. This means, however, that your SEO must be on point and the listing must be optimized for mobile and desktop in order to increase click-through rate and conversion rate. A title is just about 10% of your SEO. And most shops that I come across are getting SEO so wrong, or it's just half-baked. And really, that's why their listings never have a fighting chance from the moment they publish them. A couple things about optimized SEO that we have to clear up. Optimized SEO is not necessarily pretty SEO. SEO is not meant to be pretty. It's meant to be functional. And the goal for your SEO is to connect as many long tail keywords as possible so that that listing is falling under as many search results as possible. So for example, this listing could be doing so much better if it had better SEO. And we see just complete short tail keywords here. So love math, wooden numbers, preschool learning, toddler gift, Montessori, Waldorf toy, unique, child dev, math skills, playful learning. Okay, those are all short tail keywords, 2 words. We want to have overlapping long tail keywords, which are at least 3 words. So instead, I might do something like wooden number set, toddler educational gift, preschool classroom gift, minimalist, Montessori toy. Okay, and this way we're capturing these long tail keywords. Wooden number set toddler, toddler educational gift preschool, preschool classroom gift minimalist Montessori, and minimalist Montessori toy. So these are so many unique long tail keywords. Now, all of these things have been important, but without step number 4, you may never get to 1,000 sales. And this step is about your pricing strategy. Now, I've got to say, there's no reason to be pricing at full price when you have no sales. In fact, I wouldn't recommend having a single thing at full price during your first 1,000 orders. The goal right now is rapid acceleration. Don't worry about training your customers to only shop when you have a sale. Okay, if you don't have 1,000 sales, you don't really have enough customers to have trained. And when you have no sales, you have no reputation to protect by not offering discounts. This does mean, however, there will be different pricing strategies for different stages of your business and different stages of your listing's life cycles. So I recommend a certain pricing strategy for a certain number of sales per listing and then moving on from there. But you cannot come out the gate expecting to get to 1,000 sales quickly, pricing at full price when you have no social proof, no track record, and no customers. So just rip off the Band-Aid, really decide what margin you're willing to accept to develop a shop that has 1,000 sales months faster. Now, what if you're doing all of these steps, but you're still not happy with how fast your shop is growing? Then you will want to do this last step, which is a step that most Etsy sellers completely avoid because they don't want to do it. That's exactly why this can be your competitive advantage. This step is being extremely aggressive with social media strategies. I'm talking about Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and TikTok. You don't have to do all of these. If you could do 1 or even 2, that would be fantastic. If you're going to do only 1, I would recommend doing Facebook. I have countless students whose shops have blown up because of the Facebook strategy. If you're kind of anti-social media, then Pinterest is a good compromise. No matter what, Pinterest is important because it is the long game and it's always worth it to start now. You're going to end up seeing the fruits of your labor like 6 months from now. So the sooner you start it, right, the sooner you can get that first 6 months of building out of the way. The idea with these social media platforms is basically hardcore outbound lead generation. So getting in front of warm leads who are ready to buy. And it's really about presenting your product as a solution to someone who has a problem that they're solving. And relying on friends and family to buy things from you is not sustainable. However, a clear-cut social media strategy for each platform that will get your product in front of the right customers, that is sustainable. Now, for me, the Facebook strategy, that was the only thing I did with social media, and it got me to $10,000 a month by month 4. Now, when you look at the span of my 8 years on Etsy, long-term, Pinterest has been the most powerful source of traffic for me. By year 4, Pinterest had really built up and was driving over 100,000 visits per year. And this is not by doing any ads. The key, though, with this is social media has to be consistent, and you have to show up differently on different platforms. You want to recognize what the platform's purpose is and show up aligned with that purpose. So Instagram, purpose is building trust and nurturing current customers. So with Instagram, we are using it to increase the lifetime value of the customer. How can we connect with their lifestyle and their aspirations in their day-to-day life? Now, Facebook is really where you are being the solution to their problems. My favorite part about Facebook that most people forget is that Facebook is a search engine. Your links on Facebook, they will stay around for a long time. Now, TikTok, we can talk about TikTok. TikTok is a little bit of shooting in the dark, but there is big upside potential. However, it's a little less calculated. And then Pinterest, of course, this is the long game that you really need to do, and it can get you the strongest, I would say most consistent built-in traffic over the long period of time. I would say spend your time, even 20 minutes a day, on 1 or 2 of these platforms. I have seen that that is 100 times more valuable than spending money on ads. Now, if this all sounds interesting to you, I would love to give you my free 16-step checklist. And this is a daily checklist that you can use to grow your Etsy shop. So go ahead and download that. All of these strategies on the checklist are meant to be profitable action steps that you can be taking on a daily basis to grow your shop. There's nothing on this list that won't help you save time or make money. And if you'd like to connect about anything Etsy, definitely reach out to us. You can always email me at team@Dylan Jahraus or just reach out to us on social media. We are at Dylan Jahraus over on Instagram and then Dylan Jahraus on YouTube. We have tons of free content that we would love to share with you.